What's up, guys? I'm at Lowe's right now, getting some cut-off wheels. About to do the long arm install. About to get some blades. Got cut-off wheels. Gotta get some drill bits as well. But that's what we're doing right now. Head back to the house, start unbolting the headers, get all that knocked out, get everything unbolted, get it all set up and prepared. Alright, so nobody else had the drill bit other than Tractor Supply. So here we are. Placed the order online, about a 30-minute drive, and it's getting rush hour traffic. This is supposed to be what I need. So 11/16 drill bit. Seems pretty legit. Did not have it at Lowe's. Did not really see it online anywhere else, Home Depot or anything like that. So, I got to install this long arm this weekend. So it's been hectic, guys. It's been crazy, but yeah, this is what we got to do to make sure everything gets done. So gotta make sure that we have all this ready to go so we can knock it out. But that's what we're currently up to. Got to turn off this little auto start stop always every time we get in, because we turned it off with the flash cow and it still is working. It's still active. So really it's it's supposed to be disabled, but it is not. So it's all good. Not really that big of a pain. If you guys know anything about that, let me know, because we'd definitely like to turn it off. But sometimes it's kind of nice. I don't know, it really depends. If you're gonna be really sitting at a red light long enough to turn it off, because usually I'll end up, letting it turn off, and then it'll just turn right back on, because I won't, be sitting but for a second. So it's usually not worth it where I live, but sometimes it is. So, obviously you can press the brake a little bit less and it will not activate. So once you press the brake far enough down, it'll activate. So kind of get to learn the sensitivity of that, but no big deal. All day we're gonna get as much knocked out as we can, but get back to the house and hopefully at least get the headers off the engine or whatever we have to do. It looked like on the instructions it said 2 10mm bolts on each side. I don't know if that's like for a shield or a cover or whatever, but hopefully that's all we have to do. So thankfully it's all new, no rust and all that good stuff, so it should be a little bit easier. Alrighty guys, so here we are now. Basically got all of the initial stuff out of the way, I guess you could say, because as you can tell right here, the entire exhaust system up to the engine is off of the Jeep right now. So this was driver's side, and I'll show you the passenger side here in a second. But got all this taken out. Not really too complicated, just pretty self-explanatory. Have not really looking at the instructions really at all, just been kind of doing it. But you can see it's a lot more open down there, and especially on the passenger side, that's actually a lot more open. So as you guys can tell, that is pretty accessible in there. And a little tip there for you guys is when you're checking out the O2 sensors, you don't necessarily have to take them off of the header there. You can just unplug it, but some of them are kind of a pain to get to. But yeah, so that's how that's looking. We got both the control arms out for passenger side front, and as you can tell, it's we're only doing one side at a time. So do at your own risk, obviously, but we got jack stands and jack set up. So other side still connected, control arms, drive shaft still in for now, because we're only going to do this side first, get the control arms in, move the axle, I guess, where it needs to, jack it up, shift it around, and get that set. I'll then do the other side, because obviously if we were to take out all 4 control arms, the axle would probably flip-flop and the Jeep would land on the ground and, you know, not be good. So that's why we left the other side still in there. Okay, so here we go, factory brackets. The upper one's probably gonna be a little bit more simple to remove. This one, not really as much, because it's a lot thicker and stuff. We're gonna have to drill a lot more. But I'm trying to not cut off the inner part of this bracket. It's probably gonna be a little challenge. I'll let you guys know how that turns out, but really currently trying to decide if we're going to use a Sawzall or a cutoff wheel on an angle grinder right now. So we got electrical connector, pop this out of the frame. There's not really anywhere to put it, because you think you'd be able to stuff it up there, but you really can't. I've already tried that multiple times, so don't really, I guess I'll just kind of hold it out of the way while I grind. But as you can tell, it's a lot more open there without the headers, and you can see the engine right there in all of its glory. Okay, so this is top view with the light on so you guys can see a little bit better, but here we have more open area. As you guys can see, control arm's gone, header's gone, all that good stuff. The secondary battery, which was right there, and as you can see, 10 millimeter, 10 millimeter, 10 millimeter, and then positive negative terminal. So that wasn't really necessary. That's just kind of something I just did last second to get a little bit more clearance. But here is the battery, nothing special. It's kind of interesting, but you know, that's for your auto start stop stuff, so it's kind of cool to see all that. I've shown you what we run into, and you know. All right, there we go. All right, so I got the bracket mocked up here. Got both brackets cut off, as you can see. Got it ground down smooth to where it matters on the bottom of the frame, so that's nice and flush. This is just barely raised. Did not see a reason to take off any extra reinforcement, so all I have to do is just paint that, and that'll be good. Nice and smooth. So getting ready to drill the holes up here. Hopefully it'll fit like it's supposed to, because we have already gone too far to turn back. Okay guys, so this was a very interesting process. The passenger side is done. As far as the arms go, we have not put in the exhaust system or anything like that obviously yet, because we have not done the driver's side, but check that out guys. That is the passenger side long arm. So we got Terraflex, that looks so good. Those aluminum pieces, you know, to tighten down the adjustment. But you see the stock location mid arm over there compared to the long arm. You can see the angles are a little bit different. The long arm being a lot more horizontal, so correcting that geometry back to more factory-like, you know, being lifted this high. So that's definitely awesome. I did not film this because I had the worst time with drilling these holes up here for these bolts. So that one that you can see, that bracket, and that one. So those are the two holes that you have to drill into the frame, and that's behind the factory lower control arm mount, and it was very thick, so it was very difficult to drill through because you do not have any room between the transmission and the frame. So I had to actually modify like 6 different drill bits, drilling from small to large. With the bolts in it, it kind of tightened up, so it was definitely not really the best fitment until it was kind of squeezed on there with the bolts. So it was kind of interesting getting that to line up. But this one I had a really hard time with. Factory skid plate bolt. The welded nut on the inside of the frame, it actually broke off. As you can see, it's only tacked right there in one spot. So spent a lot of time to get that out of the frame and then find another nut, which actually what we did was use the flag nut from the upper arm, modified that, and use that for this bolt. Kind of a pain, but you know, your main stronghold is going to be, it looks to be, from the other half of this factory lower control arm bracket. You know, it bolts and holds right there pretty nice and well, but these two bolts up here, you know, for that control arm, and then that one's just a placeholder to hold the frame securely. And then you got this one that just kind of holds extra, with a little extra little tab you know, you put in there. It's pretty easy for that one, but it's all torqued down properly. So, you know, 200 foot-pounds in the bottom control arm. I think it's 130 foot-pounds in the upper control arm, whatever the specs were. And I think it was like 80 foot-pounds for the rest of the bolts. But anyways, that is in, guys, and that was honestly a huge pain. Nothing went right, so that's why I was not filming it. And you know, we are running out of time here, so I actually had to scoot the axle forward a little bit to get these arms in, and I just maneuvered it with a jack. But I don't know if it's going to be stretched forward a little bit more, possibly maybe a little bit better, you know, center geometry, because you know, when you lift it with fixed arms, it's going to kind of suck back in naturally, so it may have stretched out a little bit more towards factory. Definitely very cool. Yeah, it looks kind of funny looking at this side now, honestly. Definitely going to get some more articulation and flex out of this thing, guys. I was very excited to test it out, but just so happy that this side is done. So, you know, we have a lot more work to do, but that's okay. This bracket's going in a lot better on this side. Got that one snug. Got this one ran through the top hole and enlarged that with the drill bit. So I got this one in its place. I'm snugging it down right now, and I'm making sure it's not going to be over tightened. Bracket through the frame there. Got me a nice little metal shaving in my hand. That's cool. Anyways, so what we're doing now is getting the bracket snugged up to where it's supposed to sit. And as you can tell, it fits so much better on this side, which is so nice to see. Basically, got to drill this last hole. So what we're doing is getting the bracket in place so we can mark that hole. Drill all the way through. It's super thick right here. So I'm going to go through all that and then just kind of work my way up to at least ½ inch. And then it says that you're supposed to use this 11/16, but that is just, it just seemed way too big because it's like way larger than the bolts. I got the drive shaft out, as you guys can see. I gotta put that in later, but you know, we still have a lot of work to do with putting the exhaust headers back in, all that fancy stuff. But also, while I was under here, I did clean up the bottom of the trims and frame and all that area. So got all that wiped down, feel a little bit better. So out the battery, the auxiliary battery, and it says stop safely. The vehicle will shut off soon. It's got that little auto start warning light there. So basically, the fuse under the hood and the fuse box has blown from. We have disabled the auto start system with the tuner or the calibrator, and we have taken out those two hood sensors right there. So there's nothing else that we can really do to disable the system, because we tried to run a bypass wire for that fuse, and that did not do anything. So this has actually been a really common issue with the JL, and so that's what we're experiencing right now. So I just thought I'd keep you guys updated and let you know what we end up figuring out, because we have got to get to work. This is our primary vehicle, so it started flashing whatever gear I was in, trying to put it back in park or whatever. So it was just saying like, same thing, you know, it's going to shut off soon, whatever. But it started revving up as well. So I just cut it off. I'm going to see if I can try to pull it back in the garage. I don't know though. This is honestly crazy how disabled a vehicle can be, you know, with just a blown fuse like this. I just wanted to say really quick, if you're doing a, you know, install or anything similar to this, make sure that, you know, you have jack stands and jacks everywhere that you need, especially under the frame, because, you know, you don't want to be laying underneath it and something weird happen and then, you know, something were to fall on you. So that would not be good. But as this is the final product here, and as you can see right off the bat, the factory arm location in the rear of the Gladiator is so similar to a front long arm. This being long armed in the front now, it really does match up so well, and that is the reason why we went with the kit that we did, or the parts that we went with. Really, it's not really an actual kit, you know, just we're kind of picking and choosing the parts that I think is best for now as we're going, you know, methodically throughout the process. You know, we're not really jumping straight into doing everything at once here. You know, we're kind of just doing things in order of, you know, what we are most concerned about and what matters to us right now, you know, for what we use it for and all that good stuff. But you know, like we said, it's our daily driver truck, so the long arm was definitely a really important decision that we had to commit to and to make happen and all that good stuff. But as you can see, it is all complete. We just still have to get in alignment, guys, but definitely really enjoying it. It rides so much better. Alright guys, it's about 4:30 in the morning and we finished the long arm install. Yeah, that's all it was just a little blown fuse. Cloud, guys, it's so much softer. It's not as bound up and tight feeling, I guess you could say. I'll give you guys a better explanation later, but sure, we still have to get in alignment, so that's going to be even better. But definitely enjoying this so much more, guys.